Good afternoon. The Arts Council for Monterey County welcomes you to our monthly online segment, Artist Spotlight. I am Karen Lee Garcia, the program's director, and today I am so pleased to welcome local musician and one of our own teaching artists, Alejandro Gomez. Hi, Alejandro.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. So
Thanks for having
Alejandro
me.
is a musician and educator from Salinas, California, with an associate's degree in social sciences. He has worked as an instructor, musician, and music director with several organizations, including Alisal Center for the Fine Arts, El Teatro Campesino, and the Arts Council for Monterey County, among others. Alejandro has been actively teaching music and theater in his community since 2014, and his expertise being music production, guitar, drumline, and singing. He has also written and recorded several albums releases under the artist name Flaco Alejandro, and with groups such as Dread Eye Nights and Quien Sabe. He's performed all around the country as well as parts of Mexico and Colombia. Currently, he is furthering his music education at CSUMB, and his main focus is to continue to share and learn art and culture with his students and colleagues. And recently, the Independent Grand in New York City sold out of all copies of his record, Nade. So welcome, Alejandro, to our program, and it's such a pleasure to have you here in this capacity, because usually we're just emailing back and forth, and I see you every once in a while in a school setting, so this is nice to get to know you here. So we're going to just by just having you tell us a little bit more about who you are and about your music.
Okay. Well, like my biography said, I've been playing music for pretty much my entire life. And up until I think 5 or 6 years ago, I started teaching music, so I was able to share that all my skill and wisdom with the youth of my community. So it's been a real pleasure to do that. And I've also had the opportunity to play with different artists of all different calibers, of all different music cultures and scenes, and it's just been a real blessing to be able to do that. What I'm doing right now is I'm building I'm using all the connections and all the experience that I've had to build my career as a musician, as an artist, and as an educator.
That's that's great. And I actually just when you're just saying, your experience working in the classroom, I just have a really distinct memory of going to Sherwood Elementary School, and I was new to the organization, and going into the classroom and seeing you working with the students and they were older students too, and I was
Yeah.
just like totally blown away. I was like, who is this, musician slash like theater teacher. It was just awesome. Um, so thank you for sharing that. And we're just going to also just share just some background images too. So we're going to have a slideshow come up in a minute. And just if you could just talk a little bit through, some of the slides, because it's great to kind of see you in action here.
Sure. Yeah, this is cool. I've never done this, like had a like had pictures posted up and explained
Yeah,
the background on it. It helps to have visuals. I'm a visual learner too, so
me too.
yeah, so this is one of my first bands. Post I played in a lot of bands over my career. Like I said, with a
Career,
lot of different musicians and stuff.
right.
In high school, I played with like a bunch of metal bands and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then I transitioned into kind of like the ska and reggae uh, world.
Right.
Um, since a lot of that was happening in California, so I started this band. Well, first I started a band called Dub Dog, which was more leaning towards like the ska, like rock side of things, and we were kind of caught in between the world of like American, like what they call like Cali reggae here,
Mm-hmm.
and Spanish rock, since we sang mostly in Spanish, and we're all Mexican, And unfortunately, the reggae scene, even though reggae is like world and cultural music, it's primarily white in California. So we kind
Right.
of got lumped a lot more into like the Spanish rock scene. So this is
Mm-hmm.
kind of a band that existed in between those two worlds, and we were called Dread Eye Knights. The one on the left is us playing in Salinas, and the one right on the right is also us playing in Salinas. um, yeah, but it was a lot of fun. This picture that we had on the right. Oh, okay, we already switched. But
That's okay. You can keep talking about it. It's
yeah,
good.
the picture right there on the right was one of our first shows, like playing with like a bigger band from down south called Fortunate Youth, when they came to Salinas, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's
Cool
great.
experiences. And I've also worked a lot with the teatro, with Teatro Campesino, which is where I
Mm-hmm.
learned an immense amount of things. The amount of knowledge and things that and experience and things that I've learned from there is nowhere equal to anything that I've learned anywhere else in school or in life or anywhere. In regards to music, in regards to education, history, culture, a lot of things. These photos specifically are
Mm-hmm.
from an event that we did in Washington D.C., which was called Viva Kennedy. I don't know
Oh,
if you
wow.
can read it on right there on the side.
Yeah, I can read that.
Yeah, and it was a is it's an event that Luis Valdez, which is the founder of Teatro, he's right there all the way on the right on the second picture.
Mm-hmm.
He invited me, and then the Maestro Noé, rest in peace, who passed away this past year, and then my friend Christophe Gonzalez, who's an amazing director as well. To go just sing some songs of from the Huelga era of Teatro
Mm-hmm.
Campesino, and also perform a little acto on stage. And it was amazing, an amazing event with a lot of really cool people. I don't know if you recognize all the people in the picture on the right, but that's probably
I don't. I mean, the woman in the front with the colorful flowers, she looks a little familiar, but I don't know. I'm not too sure. So I'm not
so that's
in that
so
community.
from left to right, because it's a lot of different. It's cool because it's a lot of different generations,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of different worlds. So the woman all the way on the left, I'm gonna go from left to right, all the way to the left. That's Marisol from a band called La Santa Cecilia, who's
Okay.
an amazing band from Los Angeles. The next person is me, right there in the back, and then next to me, right there in the back, is Christophe Gonzalez, also from the teatro. In front of her is
Mm-hmm.
Dolores Huerta.
Oh,
Um,
of course. Hello.
yeah,
Yes.
is Dolores Huerta, and then right there next to her is the Maestro Noé, and then next to him is Eugenia Leon, who's also an amazing singer. I forget where she's from, but she was the headliner of the event.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's I think Barbara Carrasco or something. She's related to Dolores Huerta, so she's from that
Okay.
family. And then the guy that you can't really see right there in the back is Dan. I think it's Dan Guerrero, and he's
Mm-hmm.
the son of Lalo Guerrero, who is the first like Chicano like singer. I guess he would
Okay.
do um, kind of like humorous like Chicano like music. And then right there in the
Mm-hmm.
front is Luis Valdez, who's the
Mm-hmm.
founder of the teatro. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I love that you're showing how you learn, like you said, it's like a non-traditional education, right? Like just learning from your elders, from the community and everything that they've experienced. So that's awesome to to share with us. So,
Yeah, it's amazing. It's inclusively that's where I learned about this style of music called son jarocho, which is what's happening in
hmm
this picture right here on the left. That's me with a few of my students and one of my colleagues, Javier Tamayo, with the Al South Center for the Fine Arts. I think that's us performing at like I think it's
right.
like the indigenous market or something that they do in Salinas.
hmm
I'm not sure where that was. But yeah, those are some of my guitar students who actually have their own band now. They they have a little group. They're all siblings. All those kids right there, and yeah, they perform every weekend.
Okay.
And I'm thinking they make more money than I do now, playing every weekend. Um, so that's us
That's
playing.
awesome.
Yeah, that's us playing Son Jarocho, and then And then over here on the
Mhm.
right, that was my first production that I did with Teatro Campesino. It was called Popol Vuh.
Okay.
So it was like um, it's a Mayan. If you're not familiar with Popol Vuh, it's like a Mayan creation story, and they would do it with
Hmm.
these giant like what they call mojigangas. They're like
Right.
giant puppets, and they would kind of like act out. And there was narrators, and I got hired to do the music, which was my first step into like the world of theater and
Hmm.
and music direction with theater and combining those two worlds. Uh,
That's a beautiful like stage set too going
oh
on
yeah, it was
background
amazing.
there. That's great.
It would take a whole day to
Fun.
build.
Right. Oh, I can imagine.
And then these are more pictures of me with Teatro Campesino.
Hmm.
These are both from the Christmas show that they do at the end of every year. Um,
Okay.
so one year they do La Virgen de Tepeyac, and the other year they do La Pastorela, and they kind of go back and forth like that every year. Uh,
Hmm.
and they used to do them up until I think 2019 or 2018. The
Right.
They did them in the mission in the mission San Juan Bautista, and I think that had been going on since like I don't know, like the 1970s or 19 no, not 1970s, like 19 early 1980s, I think. And then 2018 was I think the last year that they did it. And I was fortunate enough to be there for the last year.
Right.
I don't know what year this was because I did it so many times. Uh,
Hmm.
but that's me with some of the other musicians there from Teatro. That's that older couple right there is Tim and Francis Gallipway, who were amazing musicians that taught me so much stuff um, about music and theater and told me all these crazy stories about the Teatro. That
Hmm.
was fun.
And this
Um,
is you here with your band, your other band, your most current band.
yeah, and then this is a little more current. This is with Quien Sabe, who's a cumbia urbana band out of
Hmm.
the Salinas Valley. Uh, Here on the left, that's us playing at the Catalyst in Santa Cruz. And then on the right, that's us playing at Sonido Clash, which is a festival put on by the School of Arts and Culture in San Jose. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, this is the band that's kind of like traveled all over the place. We traveled to Mexico. That's us and during our tour and that we did in Mexico City, and then we flew over
Hmm.
to Colombia and we did some stuff over there.
I feel
Um,
like I remember that tour because you were like, I'm not going to be available. I'm going on like a world tour. I was like, what?
yeah, to
What do you mean you're going on tour in the middle of the school year?
yeah, it was wild. I try to
That was cool though.
I've done a better job now at like now I can kind of like plan out tours a little bit better and like so I'm not juggling like school
Too many
and
things.
music and everything. That's been my current
Right.
struggle is not putting too many things on my plate and it's the and organizing all those things so they don't conflict so much. But
Exactly. Exactly. So I think we just have a couple more photos to go through, and then we're going to just transition into kind of what's been happening now.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, so this is my my current project. It's called Flaco Alejandro. It's something
mhm.
I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's actually something I started doing like a long time ago, but I never really put a lot of effort into it. Which is just me and my personal songs, and what I've kind of done is I've taken um, songs that I've written in a lot of different styles and put it together to kind of create my own little mishmash of music, and that's what I plan to do from here on out is to be consistently releasing music under that moniker.
Right. No, that's great. And we will be treated to music from, your you as your solo artist. So
Yeah.
I am just gonna just quickly show just maybe, and you can talk about it first, because we do want to just learn a little bit about what you have been doing since last year's shutdown,
Mhm.
and I'm going to show videos. So what you've been up to
Since last year.
since last year. Yep.
Well. it's kind of funny because like right before we shut down with Quien Sabe, we were planning a big tour, and
Hmm.
so we had that planned, and then we had like a music video that we were gonna shoot and all this stuff, and obviously, and I think a lot of people were in the same place because it's the beginning of the year, so that's when everybody's kind of putting forth their like affirmations and stuff. So we had a lot planned that unfortunately didn't happen. So we were all shut down, and then we all kind of didn't see each other for a while. We kept working on music remotely, but I also realized that I didn't have like the adequate equipment or tools to be doing that. So uh, I took like most of my savings, I invested it in a new computer and in a bunch of like gear and instruments and stuff to really to just make music from home.
Right.
So what I ended up doing is I took all the songs that I had on my back burner and all my back catalog and everything, and I made a plan to start this project, to
Hmm.
start Flaco Alejandro as a project. And I the main thing that I focused on was creating an album. And fortunately enough, I was able to record that whole album over the course of last year and release it at the beginning of this year. So
Right.
yeah.
And I will note that with that, purchasing of additional gear, you were able for the Arts Council to be a part of our Arts for Home
Yeah.
project that it's still available on our website for students, adults of all ages to access, those music lessons. So we definitely appreciated that, and they were utilized and appreciated by many. So.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun. And I want to give a special thanks to Clarissa Salcedo, who taught me how to make the little shaker. Well, she gave me the idea for
Right.
the shaker
Yep.
video that I did. I still have them too. I have them somewhere here.
That's good. We'll keep those around because there's going to be, projects coming up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I do want to show one of the videos that you discussed that was created like a totally new thing. So I'll just
Mhm.
show a little bit, and then you can talk about it
Okay.
afterwards. Okay, I'm only showing a little bit of that because it's definitely a unique approach to a music video.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about what that was all about. We'll drop links in the Facebook feed.
Yeah. So like I said, we had a lot of plans with Quien Sabe for the year, and one of those was doing a song with our friends from LA, Tropa Mágica, who have a band that's similar to us in the sense that like we do like cumbia but mixed with like rock and other stuff, and they kind of do like a similar thing. So we decided to do the song together, which is a cover. It's an old song. It's an old cover by a mutual favorite artist of ours called Chico Che. Um, and our plan was to make a video where they kind of came and we did like something together, but we weren't able to get together for obvious reasons. So
Mm-hmm.
we talked to our friend Rafa, who is doesn't have a lot of experience in the video world. He's actually a video game designer.
Okay.
So what he did instead of making us a video is and I don't know where the idea came from or who had the idea, but what he did instead of making us a music video is he made us a video game. He made us a mobile game, and he animated Quien Sabe and Tropa Mágica into the video, using the same concept that we had for the music video, and animated us into this little virtual mobile game
Right.
that you could download. It's free. You can download it on your phone and you can play it.
Yeah, and there's an app and everything. I looked at the reviews and someone was like, "This game is really hard."
Oh yeah, and it's super hard. It's he made it 100% like because everybody loves nostalgia. So he made it super authentic Super Nintendo style where all those games that were impossible to beat. So I didn't beat it myself either. Like I think only out of everybody in both bands only like one of us actually completed the entire game.
Yeah, that's funny because you guys, he has to give you like the secret code to crack it.
I
But at
know.
least
I was waiting for the cheat codes, and they never came. So
never came.
yeah.
Well, we're gonna transition again because we actually want to hear some music from you. This is a treat because we don't always often have musical guests. So you don't have to intro your songs, but if you want to, you can intro what we're gonna hear today.
Okay. So I'm gonna play a few songs. This first song is a song. It's the first song off my album that I released this year. By the way, my album's called Canciones para curar la depresión. If you don't speak Spanish, that means songs to cure depressions. Um, it's not a guarantee that the songs are gonna cure depressions, but I think music works as a really nice. Well, music is medicine. It has a lot of healing properties, a lot of which we don't entirely understand. Um, but this is the first song off that EP, and it's called Todo Sigue Igual. It's about manifesting things that you want, because you got to do two things in order to manifest things that you want. You have to believe that it's gonna happen, and two, you have to work really hard to make it happen. So that's what this song's about. It goes like this. Ay, cómo cambian las cosas, pero a la vez todo sigue igual. En este mundo nada dura para siempre, pero el que se cuida siempre va a lograr. Eso quiere decir, el fuerte de la mente va a sobresalir. Si todo fuera fácil, nunca aprenderás nada sobre tu ser, tus fuerzas, opiniones, desventajas. Hay que ver que aprender es avanzar y avanzando es crecer. Eso tienes que saber. Quieres navegar la vida, no se puede ver la luz sin un poco de oscuridad. Bye, boy. Si lo puedes creer, entonces lo puedes crear. Manifiesta lo que quieres, no le hagas caso a los demás. Nada es fácil en la vida, todos tienen que trabajar. Deja fuera la envidia, con tiempo todo va a llegar. La vida es un muy largo viaje, pero sin mapa porque se perdió. Y todos caminando sin saber a dónde van, buscando hacia afuera en vez de adentro porque están perdidos, buscando la felicidad, pero en lo material donde no exista la verdad. Y lo que el alma quiere es alimento espiritual. Al fin todos vamos al mismo lugar, si se abajo quedamos igual, o esas cenizas echando la brisa formando parte del viento total. Nada vamos a poder llevar al otro lado. Así es que lo que te importa más, si lo puedes creer, entonces lo puedes crear. Manifiesta lo que quieres, no le hagas caso a los demás. Nada es fácil en la vida, todos tienen que trabajar. Deja fuera la envidia, con tiempo todo va a llegar.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. That was so amazing. Now I need all the lyrics too.
Oh yeah, and
That's so
translated.
good.
I've been planning I've been having this crazy idea of translating all my songs and singing them in English, but I don't think.
Oh, okay. Let us know when you end up doing that.
Yeah, usually that works
So
going the other way. If you translate them from English to Spanish, and they sound really cool. But if you do it, I think if you do it from Spanish to English, it's not as exciting. So.
yeah, yeah. My
Yeah.
husband tells me that often. He's like, "You're not gonna understand it because it's not the same. Doesn't have the
Yeah.
same feeling." You gonna play one more song or two more songs for us?
Sure. I'll play another one.
Okay.
This other one's called Aférrate.
Okay.
It's like this. Ya no contestas mis llamadas, aunque te extraño y me extrañas. Dices que no me quieres ver, eso es mentiras, yo lo sé. Más bien me quieres convencer que no necesito tu ser, pero feliz sin ti no soy. A tu casita yo me voy para llevarte serenata. Piedritas tiro a tu ventana y tu abuelita me reclama. Doña, es que necesito verla y ella me manda a la verte. Es lo que yo tengo que hacer, en tus ojos hacia tu alma, porque tú eres mi mujer. Eres mi prenda amada, eres todo mi querer. Aférrate a mi amor porque nunca se va a vencer. Oh, oh, oh. La era, 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 era. La era, 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 era. Yo te dañé y eso entiendo. Nadie merece sufrimiento. Juro que no lo vuelvo a hacer. Te doy mi corazón también. Ay, tu sonrisa me relaja. Todas las fotos que me mandas a las 4 de la mañana. No puedo dormir sin mi chava. Y un día nos vamos a acariciarte, lo que tengo que hacer. Tu cuerpo hacia tu alma, porque tú eres mi mujer. Eres mi prenda amada, eres todo mi querer. Aférrate a mi amor porque nunca se va a vencer. Verte es lo que yo tengo que hacer, en tus ojos hacia tu alma, porque tú eres mi mujer. Eres mi prenda amada, eres todo mi querer. Aférrate a mi amor porque nunca se va a vencer. Tan, tan.
That's awesome. Awesome. So I don't know if you were gonna play one more song for us, but maybe we're not gonna get that today. Maybe
Uh,
we have to tell people to come see you
yeah.
at the Pearl Hour on
Yes.
Saturday, September 11th. What time is that show?
I don't know. I think usually they do like I think it's like 8 o'clock. Like
Okay. Well, we can also tag Pearl Hour, and people can make sure they go follow that venue, that
yeah,
space.
definitely. It's a
To,
beautiful place for anybody who hasn't been there. It's really nice. It's a nice patio to have cocktails and stuff, and it's like
mm-hmm.
it's got those string lights that everybody loves.
Right,
That create
right,
that ambiance. So uh, it's really
right.
cool. I played there I think last month, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was a really nice environment, really cool vibe. And I had some friends come and do some guest appearances. Cause my whole thing is I like to make my whole goal is just to make music with my friends. Okay, make music with like all the people that I've met in this area that are super talented and also outside of the area. Um, So most of the music that you hear that I come out with, it's stuff. It's not stuff that I did entirely on my own, even though it's my quote unquote solo project. But I always
Right.
I always have somebody that I'm working with, whether they're helping me write or they're playing instruments or they're helping me compose or whatever it is. So I'm hoping for this next event at the Per Hour I could have a few more uh, guest appearances from some of my musical friends.
No, that's great. It's showing that this is it's an ecosystem here. You know, we're not you're not by yourself in a silo creating. So that's great. That's wonderful. Well, where can we find you online? Where can everyone follow you?
You can follow me pretty much anywhere people are followed. You can find me on Instagram as Flaco Alejandro. Just put it as one word, Flaco, and then El, and then Jandro, which is the second half of my name. So usually when there's two Alexes, the one's Ale, the other one's Jandro. So Flaco Alejandro. You can find me on Instagram. You can follow me on Spotify. If you follow me on Spotify, that actually makes me money. So that's that's probably the best place to follow me. Um, and that's also where all my music comes out on Spotify. But if you don't use Spotify, I'm also on Apple Music and Deezer and wherever else people listen to music. You could probably find it on YouTube. I'm also on Bandcamp, and Bandcamp is really special because that's where you can kind of support me like directly. Anything
Mhm.
like if you buy my records on there or any merch that I release later, that's where you'll get it directly from me. I like to mail things and give it a little personal touch, so I'll write you a little note or something. Thank you for supporting me in my musical journey.
Well, thank you so much, Alejandro. And we're going to make sure, of course, all that information is in the Facebook feed. We encourage you to go on there and share it out with your friends and your community. And, thank you so much for joining us today here on Artist Spotlight.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. So stay tuned for another Artist Spotlight on Wednesday, September 8th, and be sure to comment and share. And to learn more about the Arts Council for Monterey County, please visit us at www.arts4mc.org. Have a great afternoon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.